Great. Thank you so much for joining us on our online community as well as in-house as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Tonight I want to be talking a little bit about learning and more the emotional side of things, how it pertains to the actual minds. Because I think it's fun to even dive into this quite a bit, but the big one that I've always stressed out a lot is about the big old subconscious mind. And this is the big one, that this mind actually holds all of our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. And the big thing that happens with this subconscious mind is the foundation of all these thoughts, feelings, and emotions as it goes through adulthood is coming through between the age of 0 and 7. So it's very crucial at this time for these kids who are learning to have very, very good, high emotional thoughts as it pertains to maybe, loving emotions, joyful, happiness. So the big thing I want to look at that is we want to make sure that we can attack this subconscious mind as much as we can, because once we get a good grasp on how this mind works, we can see how that children or how we can evolve over time. And the big one that it goes with this is repetition, or using it in a habit form with the emotion. So you can kind of look as a sense that really the emotions, when it comes to learning, we can find ourselves getting attracted more to it in a sense. So when we have a repetition, we can do this repetition of thoughts like over and over and over, but really when we find ourselves really passionate about what we're learning, we can find ourselves driving ourselves to more kind of give ourselves more of a conditioning in our subconscious mind so we can get much, much more out of the lesson. And then the big thing, if we really want to tackle it hard of how the subconscious mind really gets conditioned or programmed, is really the how do you say? I just put this down. Implementation. I even wrote it down. But really the fact of actually doing the thing. So you get yourself thinking about it. You get your emotions behind it. But really, a lot of people are really on hands-on learning. So giving yourself a problem or something to solve with your hands, or getting something, the hands involved, whatever we can get as many senses as possible to really paint that picture as clear as possible. So for instance, if we're going to find ourselves wanting to learn something very fast and quick, I would try to get as many senses as I can, because when you get the implementation, the emotion with the repetition inside of there, you can find yourself painting the clearest picture as possible. Now this can go both ways. This can go like a very, very positive way that we get ourselves implementing a lot of things in the mind, but we got to make sure that this process can also work with negative emotions as well. So we got to make sure that we can keep it positive all the time, especially for these kids, because with being between the teen time of 0 and 7, if we keep that all positive, you can see that is the beginning right at the age of 7. After that, will be progressively be positive if we keep it positive through their time. So that is actually all very, very short and sweet for you at this moment. Our next hot shot that we have going on is Dr. Mark will be tomorrow, August 4th at 6 o'clock. Dr. Chip will be discussing a little bit more about learning on August 5th. And then next week, we're going to be talking about helping kids succeed in school, which I'll be touching on probably a little bit more about the subconscious mind and how it pertains to that. And then as well as Dr. Mark and Dr. Chip will be talking on their own terms of how they can help kids in school. So you can always find us on social media presence at Instagram and Facebook at Natural Health Quincy IL. We're going to be recording all of these, going to be putting these on YouTube and Bradion and Natural Health Quincy. And give us a call at 217-228-2040, or come in and schedule an appointment with me, Dr. Mark or Dr. Chip, at 2000 Jefferson, Quincy, Illinois, 62301. Thank you so much and have a great evening.